You know, if this crowd is any indication, man, it's not going to be too long before we see a WrestleMania in this part of the globe. Lyon, France, the LDLC Arena, Backlash, probably will go down as one of the best WWE crowds of all time. Absolutely not one moment of silence during the entire show. I actually don't want to watch another North American crowd for a pro wrestling show ever again, to be quite honest with you. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. One hell of a main event tonight for the WWE title. Great first defense for the American Nightmare. The Bloodline. We all thought they were going to add a Samoan werewolf. Instead, they turned it into guerrilla warfare. A new Bloodline member added tonight. And we have new women's tag team champions in one of the sloppiest matches that will probably go down all year, but people are seemingly blaming the referee. I tend to see it otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happy hour at the OTS venue. Drinks are half off. Don't get greedy. And please, call yourself an Uber. I'll be joining you guys over there, man. Fuck the half off. Give me my old fashioned. And when we get there on this Saturday afternoon, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there.
Why has Triple H been so successful? Why is Triple H running WWE better than Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday and Friday night? Long-term booking.
Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. This is your WWE Backlash post show for May 4th, 2024. I am your host, JD from New York. As always, coming to you live from the OTS venue. Thank you guys so very much for joining me on this Saturday afternoon, wherever you may be. And as soon as I walk in the door, Rage knows how to greet the greatest of all time. $100 super chat. Been a while since I've done this bomb, but so happy to see your growth on YouTube and everywhere else. Your channel has really motivated me to keep going on my channel. Love you, JD. Don't ever change. Shout out to Raging Girl Gamer for the unbelievable show of support here tonight. Thank you very much, Rage. We love you. Thank you for being part of the OTS family. And thank you for your generosity here tonight on the Backlash post show. With the $100 super chat, we had a very, very eventful Backlash pay-per-view tonight from Lyon, France. 5 matches. 5 matches in total. I'm loving the way WWE is keeping these pay-per-views at or around 3 hours. I'm loving the quantity of the matches, sticking to that takeover-esque feel. Quality over quantity is the way that I feel it. It's the way that I love it. It's great. Backlash tonight in France will go down as probably one of the most memorable events that WWE has done all year. The matches, honestly, I didn't really have any overwhelming interest coming into this show based on what we got. We're coming out of WrestleMania. We got a draft that happened legitimately this past week. It wrapped up on Monday. The rosters are going to lock on Monday. The King of the Ring tournament is starting on Monday. Will bleed into Friday. We got our rosters where they need to be. We got our champions where we need to be. And now we can get the second half of the year for WWE underway. Coming out of WrestleMania. There's a lot of limbo coming out of WrestleMania. A lot of people don't understand that when Vince was in charge, the draft usually happened in and around October, with the season premieres in October. That was the terrible way to do it. Because at that time, WWE had Survivor Series, and their concept under the previous administration was brand versus brand. Now, clearly that didn't work out, because how could you have brand loyalty if you got drafted from one show to the other and develop brand loyalty in less than a month? So Triple H opted to change that from October and do it after WrestleMania, which is what we're getting now. The downside to that change, because there is a downside to it. Feuds have to be put off for a little bit. Things feel a little rushed. Things don't feel uber important just yet. And we get the show that we get. With the match card that we got tonight, you get what you get. There's no real heat in anything that's going on. But the Nick Khan agenda, the Nick Khan narrative as of late, is to take the WWE from their home base here in the United States, and let's take the B-level pay-per-views and move them overseas so that they are coming off as genuine attractions. And that's the way we are going to see pay-per-view from this point on. And finally, after so many years of up and down, so many years of just inconsistencies with their pay-per-views, WWE's finally landed on a concept that not only works, but it's creating memorable shows that are absolutely becoming destination events. WWE has the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, and SummerSlam here in the United States. WWE takes every other show that they have on the pay-per-view calendar, and we're going overseas. We were in Australia in February for the Elimination Chamber. Tonight we were in France for Backlash. We're going to Glasgow, Scotland for Clash of the Castle. Saudi Arabia is a given for the next 7 years. WWE goes there twice a year. Glasgow for Clash of the Castle, Saudi Arabia for their shows, whether it's Super Showdown or Crown Jewel or whatever they're planning. Money in the Bank is going to be in Toronto, another hot crowd. WWE is lining up these international shows to be something really special. And that's something that Vince McMahon shied away from. Triple H is not shying away from that. Nick Khan is not shying away from that. Why would they? Look at the rabid fan base that was in attendance tonight. I don't know the exact attendance in the arena tonight. It had to be in the vicinity of 12,000 people in the LDLC arena in Lyon, France. Triple H announced today that this was the biggest gate for a stadium show or an arena show of this capacity in WWE history. 12,000 seats. That is unbelievable. That goes to show you that how badly these fans wanted a show over there. WWE can charge whatever the fuck they want for a ticket, and people will come out and watch, and they will have a great fucking time. The crowd energy makes the entire show. This is what some promoters don't get. When I watch a weekly television show, I don't want it to feel like I'm watching Joel Osteen on some public access channel where everybody's just listening in silence as someone preaches the fucking gospel. That fucking crook. Nobody wants to see a show like that. It's boring. Wrestling is supposed to be heavy hitting. Wrestling is supposed to be loud music. Wrestling is supposed to be energy. Wrestling is supposed to be fun. Meanwhile, you go into these fucking arenas, you watch a random Wednesday night, Tony, and there's less than 2,000 fucking people there. No energy, no excitement, lazy. Meanwhile, WWE fills up Backlash with 5 matches. 5 matches. And every match felt like it should have been on a fucking WrestleMania card with the excitement that these fans made them feel like. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles was the main event for this show. There wasn't one single instance where the crowd sat on their ass and just watched in silence. They were chanting, and yes, it did become a little overwhelming and a little, all right, man, enough is enough. Let's pay attention to what these guys are creating in the ring. But there wasn't one moment during that entire 25-minute match where the crowd went silent. They were chanting everything and anything in between. After every 2 count all night, they were singing along and chanting. They made every match feel like the most important thing of the entire night. Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, the Kabuki Warriors, Naomi, Tiffany Stratton, Bayley, the Bloodline, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. Everything just felt like it belonged, even though there wasn't that much excitement built on weekly television coming into tonight's show. France will go down as one of the best WWE crowds that I personally, in all my years watching the show, will go down as one of the best WWE crowds ever. And I love the current formula. I love the current format that Nick Khan and Triple H have WWE on, man. Again, like I said in the intro to the show, I don't even want to watch Monday night when they come back to the United States, because we know it's not going to be like it was tonight. We're going to be asking, well, where the fuck is the energy that France brought on Saturday afternoon? But that's what happens when we weekly get this product at the tip of our fingers, in the palm of our hands. This is what happens when we digest the weekly product every single week, every single month. We take it for granted. It'll be there next week. These people haven't had a fucking pay-per-view ever. WWE's never in their entire history run a pay-per-view from France. You think these people were thirsty and hungry for pro wrestling tonight? It's really made for a very energetic, very fun, very easy watch over 3 hours. WWE nailed a home run tonight and barely put any effort into putting this card together. The power of the audience. A lot of people don't really get it. The power of the audience changes the entire trajectory of a show. It takes a good show to a great show. It takes a bad show to a good show. So on and so forth. Fucking great. The biggest thing that happened on tonight's show, we didn't get any surprises that a lot of people had predicted. A lot of people predicted we're going to get the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, former MLW World Champion, the longest reigning MLW World Champion of all time. Obviously, he's a part of the Anoa'i family. We did not get Jacob Fatu. A lot of people were expecting him to show up in that tag team match. A lot of people predicted that he might show up and ruin Jey Uso's chances of winning the World Championship. He did not show up at all tonight. I don't know what they're waiting for, but we will inevitably get the Samoan Werewolf on TV. But we did get Tanga Loa, the brother of Tama Tonga. And he is now in this new bloodline led by Solo Sikoa. And guerrilla warfare is firmly underway. With a $100 super chat. What a great way to spend a day enjoying a pretty good pay-per-view, I felt overall, followed by a quality review from JD. But I do have a question, he says. No doubt you will talk about this. Do you think we head for a Rock, Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tanga Loa versus Roman Uso's Jacob Fatu match? I know, listen, I want Jacob Fatu on the show as well. Don't give me any lip today, okay? Match down the line at War Games. I think we do end up getting War Games. I don't know when we're going to get Jacob Fatu, but I love the fact that we are slowly building towards this Bloodline versus Bloodline feud. And it's certainly something the company needs, man. Loving it so far. The energy is there with it. I'm excited to see what happens next. That's all we could really ask for. So, David, thank you for the $100 super chat here tonight on the Backlash post show. But we did get Tanga Loa. He showed up tonight during that tag team match, and he's the newest member of the Bloodline, attacking Randy Orton and Kevin Owens and helping his boys win another match as the Bloodline continues to grow. We will once again go over what I think is truly happening here. I did talk about it for a little bit on last night's SmackDown post. I do think that Solo is operating on behalf of somebody. I don't think that Solo is operating solely on his own. I do think The Rock is involved with the entire Bloodline. And we will talk about that as we have yet another $100 bomb. Oh, my goodness. Felipe Carvalho with a $100 super chat. My guy Felipe comes in and says, Jade, if she put 20% effort she puts into the gym, into becoming a better wrestler, we would have a legit monster of a superstar for the next 10 years. But as of now, she is just a less charismatic Chyna. Felipe, not only thank you for your generosity, but you, my friend, up until this point, have the comment of the night. Absolutely. I know, listen, Listen, I know Jade sucks. You don't have to tell me anything, man. I've been saying it to everybody. Nobody wants to fucking listen to me. I don't know why she has to wake up as soon as I go live, man. You know, when she meow, it just fucks me up. I don't know what she wants. I come in, she's sleeping. I start talking, she wakes up. Normally, she sleeps through my yelling. Sorry about the cat noises. Bacardi has awokened. I know. Now I'm talking. Now you know I'm talking about you. Felipe, thank you for the $100 bomb, brother. I appreciate you being here, as I do appreciate everybody being here in the venue for this Backlash post-show. We will go over the Bloodline. Jey Uso failed to capture the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from Damian Priest. Damian Priest and the story of Priest as the world champion is something that Monday Night Raw is going to need moving on post-WrestleMania. I feel like the breakup of the Judgment Day is the right thing that WWE needs on Monday nights to continue to generate interest with what's going on over there outside of everything else that they got going on there and the great roster that they've assembled on Monday nights. He obviously does not want the help of J.D. McFish and Finn Balor. Dominic is out with injury. He's going to be out for at least 8 to 12 weeks. Damian Priest does not want any help. And I appreciate that. Which you see where they're going with that. They are clearly, probably, I'd say, leaning into turning Damian Priest into a babyface. So, I know, listen, I don't want Priest as a babyface either, man. I don't care for it. Now, shut the fuck up already, okay? Jesus Christ. I'm not into a Damian Priest babyface turn. I'm not. I'm not into Priest as champion, to be quite honest with you. I'm not even into Jey Uso as a singles wrestler. Love his entrance. Love the energy. Don't really care for them in their current singles roles. We'll talk about that as well right here on the Backlash Post. And I want to thank you guys again for joining me on this Saturday afternoon. WWE is imminent on the announcement, this major announcement that they have for WrestleMania. Apparently, it's coming during the Kentucky Derby. Now, the rumor is that WWE will be announcing WrestleMania taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada for WrestleMania 41. I'm just waiting on the confirmation for this rumor. And then I will probably have a video out tomorrow for you guys based on the news. Because not only was that in the news, or that is going to be in the news, WWE released Drew Gulak and Gable Steveson from their WWE contracts. What a failure Gable Steveson was, huh? You guys remember when he was drafted to Monday Night Raw and never made one single appearance? Yeah. It's official. WWE announced Vegas, huh? Let's see. Let's go to the old X machine. WWE announced Las Vegas. There you go. WrestleMania 41 will be in Las Vegas April 19 and April 20. 2025 from Allegiant Stadium. Man, do I love that fucking logo, man. Oh, my goodness. That may be one of the best WWE logos that they've had for WrestleMania. I love it. Love it. Viva Las Vegas. Sorry, Minnesota. Sorry, Minnesota. Maybe you should become less boring. There you go. I don't know, man. I'm going to be incredibly tempted to go out to Vegas next year, man. Meet and greet in Vegas. What do you say? We'll see. A 6-hour flight doesn't interest me. We'll talk about it later. Oh, my goodness. Ali. Holy shit, Ali. Ali with the bomb. My guy Ali with a $100 super chat. All I got to say, JD, is this new Bloodline story is the best ever. I cannot wait for War Games when it happens. It certainly feels that way, Ali. It certainly makes sense for that to happen. And I'm very much looking forward to it as well. We are shaping up to have a great summer for WWE. Bacardi is more interesting than Jade Cargill? Absolutely, man. I take Bacardi 7 days out of the week over Jade Cargill. Follow me on social media, guys, at JD from NY206, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. Make sure you guys have those notifications on, because this coming Tuesdays finally become Titan. More Titan than they ever were. Yours truly teaming up with another GOAT and a personal friend of mine, someone that I consider a personal friend. The Solid Monster will join Tuesday Night Titans as the permanent co-host, and we are going to talk pro wrestling. I feel like Tuesday will be one of the biggest audiences that we have ever had. Love it. Jesse, I'm going to need you to get your mind out of the gutter, bro, okay? Seriously. Go Google Sky Blue, man, and get your mind away from what you think that I meant. This fucking guy. Tuesday Night Titans, the Solid Monster, and JD from NY. It's going to be a great show, man. The new era of TNT will begin on Tuesday. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. Make sure you guys go check out all the other content with more coming this weekend. It's going to be a busy weekend, man. After tonight, I got to record a video for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I got House of Glory with Solid Monster. We're doing our Cinco de Mayo show, and I'm assuming that I will have a cold beverage tomorrow sitting at the commentary desk. I don't want it to be Corona. I would take Modelo over Corona, no doubt. So hopefully the NYC Arena has a little bit of both. I'll even take a Presidente. No Corona. Corona's on the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Mexican lagers. You guys want to watch that? You can tune in Triller TV Plus for House of Glory tomorrow afternoon. 5 p.m. bell start. We just announced Daniel Garcia. And no, I will not be dancing. And tonight's show is sponsored by my very good friends over at Game Time. Download the Game Time ticket app and use that promo code JD from NY to save $20 off your first purchase. Love it. Shout out to my friends over at Game Time for the sponsorship on tonight's Backlash post right here on OTS. Let's get into this show, man. I know, listen, I enjoy Modelo over Corona. Do you got a fucking problem with that? I hope to God not. Shut your mouth. Moving on. Backlash. We start things off with the street fight. Yes, it was a street fight. It was billed as a regular tag team match. They turned it into a street fight to start the show. Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga with Paul Heyman against Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Owens entered first to a huge reaction. Everybody loves KO. He stood in the aisleway for a long time. He just soaked up the reaction from the crowd in France. Michael Cole and Corey Graves barely said anything because of the energy that the crowd here was giving Kevin Owens. And then Randy Orton made his way out from Gorilla and walked the aisleway. Fans went ballistic. fans sang Randy Orton's theme, lyric for lyric, word for word. Now, I'm sure it's happened over his long and illustrious career at some point, but never to this extent. Randy Orton's theme, I don't remember the last time, outside Friday, because it happened on Friday, too, where Randy Orton's theme was sung in unison by an entire arena full of people. It's crazy. Everybody loves Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. The Bloodline, they come on out. They get booed, obviously. And we got chants of, "We want Roman" in France. Like I said last night, Roman's already a babyface. Roman's not even going to be back on television until after the summer. And Roman Reigns is already a babyface in this thing. That's how great everything has gone so far with this new Bloodline. So before the match even started, Owens started brawling with Tama Tonga. Orton followed and brawled with Solo Sikoa. This is sheer chaos at this point to start the show. Bell hasn't even rung yet. Fight spilled to the outside. All of a sudden, we get a bunch of officials, a bunch of security guards. They run out there to try and separate these two teams to try and get this match underway in an orderly fashion. Owens is starting to hand out stunners to all the security guards, and Nick Aldis has seen enough. As soon as Owens put his hands on the security guards, Nick Aldis came out there with a microphone and started blasting everybody. So Nick Aldis, you guys want to fight? You guys want to just go all out? I'll give you guys this one-time favor. I'm making this into a street fight. Have at it. No rules. No DQ. No count out. No disqualifications. Nothing. And this is exactly what we needed based on what we got leading into this match where it's just been chaos. And this blood feud between these two teams, the Bloodline, now obviously slowly assembling into whatever they're turning into. Kevin Owens has had a long history with Roman Reigns in the Bloodline. Now he's got a history with this new Bloodline. Randy Orton never got closure with what he has against the Bloodline. They put him out for 18 months. I don't want to see fucking quick tags. I don't want to see double team continuity. I don't want to see fucking scientific pro wrestling here, man. So making this into a street fight, it was probably the best thing for this match and the best way to start the show. And everybody fucking popped big for this. Big brawl through the crowd. Bloodline was finally sent back to the ring. They were in and out of the crowd. Fans were eating this shit up. Owens gave Tonga a splash off the barricade. Orton stood on the barricade as he would do 1-2, but simply stepped down and posed for the crowd. They chanted for Orton as he gave Tonga a back suplex onto the announce table. Owens then gave Solo a DDT on the ringside steps. Orton then took Tama Tonga and bashed him in the head with a trash can lid. Owens did the same to Solo. There were chants of ECW in France. ECW, no matter where you are, man, gets the love from all the pro wrestling crowds. Owens and Orton used kendo sticks. They grabbed a table from underneath the ring because France wanted, we want tables. Delighting the crowd, everybody popped when the table came out. Owens put Tonga through a table with the frog splash off the apron. Nice move there by KO. So after about 10 minutes into this thing, Bloodline finally got some offense. Solo cut Orton off, put him through a table with a Samoan drop. Owens tried going after Solo, but he dropped Owens with a clothesline. Tama Tonga then hit Owens with a kendo stick, and the crowd started chanting asshole at him. Gotta love France. Asshole sounds the same in all languages. Gotta love it. Bloodline ganged up on Owens. He tackled Tama Tonga, but Solo hit him with a trash can. Heyman looked on. Heyman's body language and Heyman's facial expressions. Jade Cargill could learn a thing or two from watching Paul Heyman's facial expressions. He's not even an active in-ring performer. Paul Heyman's facial expressions were fucking key throughout this evening as it pertains to this storyline. So he's looking on concerned as the Bloodline's beating up Kevin Owens because he doesn't agree with what's going on here. You see it written all over his face. The Bloodline grabbed the table, but Owens fought back and drove Solo through the table. Tama Tonga knocked him down with a clothesline. Orton got back in before Tama Tonga could hit Owens with a chair. Orton ducked a chair shot, hit his clothesline, power slam, and draping DDT combination. And Orton was looking for the RKO. But Solo Sikoa broke up the cover. Solo cleared the announce table, and the crowd actually booed because they want to see the table spots. They want to see the table spots. They didn't do it. Solo sucks chants rang out. He placed Orton on the table eventually. Orton blocked a Samoan spike and gave Solo an RKO on the table, which did not break. Owens hit Tonga in the back with 4 different chairs. He set up the chairs on their legs and placed each chair facing each other. There were 4 chairs in total. So Tonga, this looked like it was going to suck either way. Tonga was looking for a superplex. Owens transformed this superplex from Tama Tonga into a brainbuster off the top rope through the tables with an avalanche brainbuster. Ridiculous. Insane spot. Crowd went crazy. Owens had the match won, but the cover was broken up. 1, 2, and all of a sudden we see someone on the outside. I'm like, who is it? Who is it? It wasn't Jacob Fatu. It was Tanga Loa. Tanga Loa yanked the referee out of the ring, and Tanga Loa hit Orton and Owens in the face with the steel steps. Solo at this point, thanks to the interference from Tanga Loa, gave Owens a Uranage onto the chair and then hit the Samoan spike for the 1, 2, 3. So we have a new Bloodline member. Not only do we have a new Bloodline member, we got Tama Tonga's brother, Tanga Loa, in the Bloodline now. Not only do we have Tama Tonga's brother in the Bloodline, now we have Guerrillas of Destiny in WWE. And that God versus Usos tag team match is going to cook this summer, man. A dream match that people have talked about happening or wanting to have happen at some point is finally going to take place this year in WWE. I love it. It's not Jacob Fatu, but I'm pretty confident in Mike Johnson's report that Jacob Fatu is signed, sealed, and delivered. We don't know where Jacob Fatu is going to fit into this. We don't know where he's going to play into the new Bloodline or the old Bloodline. We don't know. I've seen some people saying, well, maybe Jacob Fatu is the muscle for Roman Reigns. Maybe Jacob Fatu teams with Jimmy and Jey Uso. I don't know. I mean, that's a possibility. I don't know why Jacob Fatu would be a good guy or a babyface. I see him more as a heel. I see him more as a destroyer than anything. I don't know. We may honestly be setting up for Jacob Fatu joining Jimmy and Jey Uso. That's the next story. How is Jimmy going to try and convince Jey to battle alongside him because of what is happening internally within the family? That's the next story. When Jimmy comes back, I don't know. But I'm very interested to see how WWE gets Jey from Raw to come over to SmackDown and get once again involved in family drama. It's at that point then we could probably see Jacob Fatu join their team and join their side to even things out. Solo and then the Guerrillas of Destiny against the Usos and Jacob Fatu. That could be a possibility. I wasn't really thinking of that because I was thinking more along the lines of Jacob Fatu joining the Bloodline and Solo Sikoa. I don't know where Roman Reigns fits into all this. Roman's going to be out for quite some time. And like I said on Friday night, I don't think that Solo is acting on his own. I don't. I think Solo is being told to go out there and do what he needs to do. And I genuinely think that he's being told by the final boss. I do. Now, again, it's just a prediction. I'm not telling you that's what it's going to be. But the thing that I mentioned last night, I'm going to reiterate again to you guys here tonight. I just don't see, after Paul Heyman inadvertently blurted out last night on SmackDown that he hasn't spoken to Roman Reigns since WrestleMania. Nick Aldis was very confused by this. He asked again, what did you just tell me? So who pulled Roman Reigns out of the WWE draft? Roman Reigns didn't pull out of the WWE draft on his own. Nobody's heard from him since WrestleMania. Paul Heyman says that he did it because he didn't want Roman to know, see, or be involved with what is going on, the chaos that is going on with Solo Sikoa and this new bloodline. So who is Paul Heyman acting on behalf of? Is it Solo? I don't think it's Solo. Why would it be Solo? Solo acting on Solo's behalf sounds a little boring. I think The Rock is pulling the strings. I genuinely feel like The Rock, after everything that happened and everything he did for Roman to set up Roman for success, failed the family. Rock is going to take instance with this. He's going to look at this as a disrespectful slap in the face. And now he's taking things into his own hands. The bloodline under Roman didn't get the job done. Now I got to recreate the bloodline in my own image. And I'm appointing a new tribal chief. Now, the only logic gap there is Roman not watching the show because, Roman could clearly call Paul Heyman and see what the fuck is going on. Seriously. Even Paul Heyman's body language tells you that he doesn't want to be there. His facial reaction tonight, he walked by Jey Uso later in the night. I'm going to talk about this now instead of waiting until talking about the Damian Priest Jey Uso match. There was a moment where Jey Uso was preparing for his match. In walks Solo Sikoa. In walks Tangaloa. And then you see Tama Tonga. They all walk by Jey Uso and they all look at him with a hard stare. And then in walks Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman's facial expressions. If you guys looked at Paul Heyman's facial expressions, look at it again. You might have missed it the first time. To me, Paul Heyman's facial expressions read, please help me. Please get me out of this. As he walked by, genuinely concerned about what is going on here. That's another aspect to the story that is going to be told over time. Not only Jimmy and Jey Uso, how are they going to get back together? Paul Heyman is going to be an integral part of this story as well. Roman Reigns, how is he going to get on the Usos' good side again? He basically exiled all of them at one point or another. Which side is Paul Heyman going to be on? Is it going to be on the final boss's side? Is he going to obey the new tribal chief, or is he going to stick with his old tribal chief? Who is the real tribal chief? Roman Reigns. I genuinely think that The Rock is pulling the strings, which is eventually going to lead to Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam. And then with the Vegas announcement, WWE clearly wants to do Rock versus Roman in Las Vegas instead of Rock versus Roman in Minneapolis. It just has a better feel to it. Minneapolis, I'm sure they'll get a WrestleMania, but they're not going to get Roman versus Rock. Las Vegas is going to get Roman versus Rock. The setting, the feel, the vibe, the city, the atmosphere, that is perfect for Roman versus Rock. And then that'll end the long game. Roman Reigns overcoming the final boss, ascending to the throne of the Anoa'i family, and becoming the biggest babyface in WWE. The babyface that Vince dreamed of and failed to produce. That's the story. Several different layers to this. I love it. And yeah, it's about the Anoa'i family, and yeah, they're going to take precedent over everything, and yeah, it feels a little bit more important than what Cody Rhodes is doing right now. I get it. They're on the same brand. But anything by that standard, no matter who the champion is, Cody, everything's going to fall to second priority for that. Do I like it? No, I don't. But when you're including The Rock and Roman Reigns, I don't see how anything, no matter who the champion is, how anything is going to take precedent over that when this is legitimately the final stand for WWE to get this match done before The Rock actually retires. I'm loving everything that's going on here. Everybody was genuinely surprised by Tanga Loa. And we all expected Jacob Fatu, but I don't hate this. They threw us a curveball. And WWE is keeping this thing very interesting. After the match, Heyman kneeled by Owens' fallen body and asked the Bloodline to stop. The damage has already been done. I would say that the 40 minutes of this was probably one of the best opens to a pay-per-view that WWE's had in several years. They opened night 2 with a banger. This was a banger. This will go down as an all-timer. This match was great. Very, very intrigued throughout the match. The street fight changed the entire perception of the match. The introduction of Tanga Loa. WWE hit a fucking home run with this thing. Loved every bit of it. Triple threat match. Bayley. She defended the WWE Women's Championship against Naomi and Tiffany Stratton. This match went about 14 minutes or so. And again, just like I said in the outset of this video, of this stream, I didn't really care about much of anything coming into this. I cared about the Bloodline stuff because I'm heavily invested. But outside that, something like this did not have any heat to it. And a lot of that has to do with WWE had the draft. They put their pieces together. They assembled their rosters, and now hopefully we can get some solid story with a lot of these characters. Bayley was kind of floating around in the middle of nowhere. She's been dabbling a little bit with Naomi. She's been dabbling a little bit with Tiffany Stratton. So they basically took these two aspects and fused them together, and they thought best would be a triple threat match. Now we got Nia Jax moving over to Friday nights, and I would assume that Nia Jax is going to be a top contender for the Women's Championship. Now, I'm not particularly interested in Nia Jax versus Bayley for the Women's Championship, but I could absolutely see Nia Jax winning the Queen of the Ring tournament for the ladies. Just going to throw that out there. Don't kill the messenger when you see Nia Jax in the finals of the tournament. This was a fun match. Tiffany Stratton is an absolute savage. Dave Meltzer actually tweeted out, and I think probably more people agree with him than not. He said Tiffany Stratton, at this stage of her career, has the makings of becoming probably the best female superstar in all of the United States, maybe ever. I don't think he's too far off from that, but that's a very, very high comment. Is she going to be labeled as the greatest ever to ever do it? When all is said and done, she certainly has the potential to do so, but she's got some stiff competition. She's got Becky, she's got Charlotte, she's got Sasha, she's got Bayley. Is she going to be more influential than any of those women? I don't think so. But the one thing that Tiffany Stratton has, outside of a Charlotte, or outside of a Becky, is I feel like she has more charisma than both of those women. Or a Bayley, even. She just gets it. And the thing with Tiffany Stratton is she's got the gimmick, she's got the entire persona down, and she does not skimp on the in-ring aspect at all. You may look at her, and she may be exactly what Vince had modeled for a top female superstar in the old administration. Blonde, busty, beautiful, and you would expect her to be half of the pro wrestler that she is now. But she goes in there, and Tiffany busts her ass. She wrestles like one of the guys. She bumps around. She fucking knows what she's doing. She moves fluidly in the ring. And the great thing is she's still learning, and there's so much more room for improvement. She just gets it. I don't think I've seen one bad Tiffany Stratton match since she won the NXT Championship. I think she's been great. She's probably one of the best products to come out of the Performance Center in many, many, many years. And she hasn't even been doing this that long, man. She's been doing it for about 3 years. It's crazy. Bayley and Naomi have had this little mini feud as best friends. Tiffany Stratton's in there, and she wants to basically win the Women's Championship because she's owned both of these ladies for the last couple of weeks. Triple threat match actually was very good as well. The crowd was big time into this. So Naomi and Bayley, they got huge reactions from the fans. Crowd was singing along to Bayley's theme song, which is awful. There was some Tiffy time chants as well. The crowd chanted something in French, and Bayley clapped along and said, "I don't know what you're saying." So the three-way started, and both Bayley and Naomi were going at it. Tiffany Stratton got in there. They traded some three-way spots, which led to Tiffany Stratton taking control. Bayley tried fighting back, but Stratton hit an Alabama Slam, which is being highlighted as one of her signature moves. Naomi was supposed to break up the cover. She was late, so Bayley kicked out. Naomi speared Stratton through the ropes. Stratton fought back, hit a handspring back elbow to Naomi into the barricade. Stratton was distracted by the crowd, so Bayley hit a suicide dive. Naomi came off the barricade with a blockbuster on Bayley. Naomi then gave Tiffany Stratton a split-legged moonsault, but Bayley broke up the cover. Naomi gave Stratton a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. Naomi then applied her Feel the Glow, but Bayley broke it up with a big flying elbow drop off the top for a 2 count. Bayley then gave Stratton a Bayley to belly, and she got a 2 count. Stratton gave Naomi another Alabama Slam onto the edge of the announce table. She did the same thing with Bayley, giving her an Alabama Slam onto the other announce table. Stratton then tried for the prettiest moonsault ever, which she has done over the last couple of weeks. She's nailed the moonsault on both Naomi and Bayley at the same time, and she tried to win the match by doing it for a 3rd week in a row, but both women moved out of the way this time. Tiffany rolls through. She gets back to her feet. She turns around, and both Bayley and Naomi gave her a Team 3D, the Dudley's finish. Crowd chanted, "This is awesome." Bayley and Naomi exchange shots here. They're going at it. Naomi tried for a cradle. Bayley countered into one of her own, and she gets the out-of-nowhere fluky victory, and Bayley retains the WWE Women's Championship. Naomi took the pinfall. Tiffany Stratton did not. So make sure you guys keep that in the back of your minds. You see where WWE's priority is for the women's division. Naomi, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but Naomi has been nothing more than a supporting player in her return for WWE. She was a big fish in a small pond over on Impact as their women's champion before they switched back over to being TNA. She dropped the title to Jordynne Grace. Jordynne Grace has been the champion ever since. I get that Naomi was doing big things, or Trinity was doing big things over an Impact, but you come on over to WWE where you're no longer the biggest name in your division and you get pushed aside for someone who obviously WWE has a lot of investment in Tiffany Stratton, and then obviously Bayley, and then you got Nia Jax, who you know they're going to shove down everybody's throat. Naomi right now is in this gray area where she should be higher than she is, but WWE will not push her past that threshold. She's so much more of a supporting player. I get why people are upset. But the stock right now is in Tiffany Stratton. I don't know when we get Tiffany and Bayley for the title. We may not get that, honestly. I know a lot of people are predicting Tiffany Stratton to win either Queen of the Ring or Money in the Bank. We don't know if she's even going to be in the Queen of the Ring tournament. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Tiffany Stratton will be the women's champion by the end of the year. That much is known. She's already teased winning the championship on a couple of occasions, and it's going to happen. By the end of the summer, I would not be shocked if Tiffany Stratton is the world women's champion. This was a very good match. I thought the ladies killed it. Bayley was the right winner. No reason to take that championship off of her. She hasn't really done anything with it after winning it from Io Sky at WrestleMania. And I think they'll give Bayley a few months with the title before moving over to really what they want to do, and that's put the belt on Tiffany Stratton. Naomi hugged Bayley after the match. They raised each other's hand, and they showed their sign of respect for still being friends. Damian Priest. He defended the World Heavyweight Championship against Jey Uso. This is the third match of the night. I seen a couple of people complaining about the match order here. I thought the match order was perfect. I really do. With seeing how hot this crowd was, it really probably didn't matter where this match fell, but you didn't want two championship matches going on back-to-back. WWE opened the show perfect with the Bloodline versus KO and Randy Orton. Then they bled into the triple threat women's match with Bayley, Tiffany, and Naomi. Then we get the men's match, Damian Priest versus Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then the tag team championships, Jade and Bianca botching up the entire joint against the Kabuki Warriors. And then we got Cody and AJ Styles. I thought the match order was perfect. Damian Priest and Jey Uso go on third, World Heavyweight Championship. Jey Uso got the entrance first, as the challenger usually does. And normally, Jey Uso's entrance is one of the highlights for any show that he's on. The energy is just unlike any other entrance in the company. The visual of everybody raising their hands up in the air and bouncing up and down with Jey Uso to the theme music is fantastic. But my God, man, did France take it to a whole nother level. It was a sight to behold. I can't even imagine what it felt like being in the arena, seeing everybody jump up and down to Jey Uso's theme music. Now, I don't really understand why we here in the United States have not adopted the idea that France brought to the table. It's almost as if us Americans are fucking stupid and we don't really have a brain to think. Meanwhile, the people over in France, in the arena, they all took out their cell phones and they had their flashlights on, and 12,000 people in unison bouncing up and down with their fucking flashlights on their phone lit in the arena really made it a spectacle that I've never seen before, ever. Unbelievable. It was like a live fucking rave at a wrestling show. That's what we need to see, man. This is what takes WWE to a completely different level. WWE is just on a whole nother level when it comes to this type of shit, man. Honestly. Now, I'm not too big on Jey Uso as a singles performer. I'm not. I think he's very mid when it comes to what he does in the ring. He's not bad. He's just boring. I'd much rather see the Usos in a tag team than both of them wrestle singles. That's just the way that I feel. Some of you may disagree. I don't like what they've done with Jey. The entrance and his theme is the best thing that's ever happened to him. The best part of his act. I don't care for him as a singles performer. I don't. I never cared for Jimmy as a singles performer. And his theme music and his energy is not the same as Jey does. But man, oh man, United States, you gotta waken the fuck up. Seriously. I don't know why we haven't adopted this flashlight gimmick with Jey Uso. Maybe come Monday Night Raw, we'll get Jey Uso in the fans here showing him some love with the fucking flashlights. Ridiculous. Absolutely one of the most energetic entrances that I've maybe ever seen. And he came through the crowd. He's bouncing up and down with everybody. It was just fucking beautiful, man. Absolutely beautiful. Damian Priest comes out. He's got new theme music. A couple of weeks into his new theme. All rise. And he sings his own theme. Not a fan. Not a fan. The bell rings, and Jey used his yeet pose to control the crowd. It almost felt like Bryan Danielson manipulating everybody to do yes. He's over there raising his hands up. Yeet. He's getting everybody to yeet with him. And everybody's eating out of the palm of his hand. Match started. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when Bryan Danielson ripped off the jumpsuit inside the cage with Bray Wyatt, Providence, Rhode Island, Monday Night Raw, which is still one of my most favorite Monday Night Raw moments in the history of Monday Night Raw. When Bryan was there, he shed the jumpsuit. He's slowly putting his hands in the air, and everybody's doing yes in unison at the same time. Never seen anything like that before. That's what this reminded me of. Love it. He made everybody yeet. All corners of the arena yeet. From left to right. Up and down. He made everybody yeet. Priest took control early. He drove Jey into the turnbuckle. Jey fought back with some strikes, a big super kick, which there were a lot of. It's not an Uso match without a super kick. Uppercut, enziguri, flying, crossbody. Referee went to go check on Priest. All of a sudden, J.D. McDouble. He ran out. He showed up and used the middle rope to crush Uso, which did not look good for Uso. It looked like it fucking sucked. His eggs were definitely scrambled there, more scrambled than normal. Priest, he followed up with a spear for a 2 count. So Priest gets up. He's looking over at JD. Not me. I wasn't there. I'm here. He's looking over at McFish. He's asking, what are you doing out here? Then he asks McCafe to go away. I never asked you to be out here. I don't like my coffee black, bro. I like my McCafe coffee, cream and sugar. Please, light and sweet. Yelling at him. Tells this guy to go away. So Jey knocked both of them down. He kicks J.D. McRib in the face with a super kick. Jey followed with an Uso splash on Damian Priest for a 2 count because he knocked Priest down with a super kick as well. He goes up top for the Uso splash, gets a 2 count. The one thing I listen, man, I may be the only one that sees this shit. The Uso splash has gotten worse as the months gone on. The Uso splash is not like it used to be. So when Jey does it and he goes up top, it looks so sloppy in both execution and then delivery. It's almost as if he doesn't land ever flush on his opponent. Ever. When Jey Uso goes up top, he used to nail it beautifully. Now when he goes up top, his legs and knees hit first, and then the rest of his body comes down on top of his opponent. I don't know why it looks so shitty nowadays. Did it always look that bad? Maybe it's just me. So after the Uso splash, 2 count. They exchanged strikes as the crowd chanted yeet and no yeet. Yeet and no yeet. So Priest got up, hits a razor's edge out of nowhere on Jey Uso for a 2 count. Jey then blocked the South of Heaven chokeslam and then hit a spear for a near fall. Jey went up top again. Don't know what he was going for. Probably going for another Uso splash. Finn Balor entered through the crowd. He jumps the barricade. Jey super kicked him immediately off the apron. Priest did not see him, so he didn't get angry at Balor like he did J.D. McDouble. Priest dropped Jey Uso with a clothesline. Priest then followed up with a South of Heaven chokeslam. The crowd popped big for the kick out because they very much wanted Uso to win the World Championship. Up until this point, the match was very mid, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. Priest hit a couple of kicks to Jey's head. Fans yeeted, and Jey responded with some super kicks of his own. A leaping super kick to Priest in the corner. Jey then hits a spear. He goes up top, hits another Uso splash. This was for the win, but J.D. McFlurry, he was on the outside. He pops back up, and he just in time placed Damian Priest's foot on the bottom rope to break the cover. Crowd started chanting asshole at J.D. McFish. Jey wiped out Mr. JD with a suicide dive. He speared Balor on the outside of the ring. Jey went back up top. Priest knocked him down, crotched him on the top turnbuckle, hits the South of Heaven chokeslam off the second rope for the 1, 2, 3. Damian Priest retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Balor and McDonough, after the match, put the boots to Jey Uso, and Priest got upset. He threw both Balor and McDonough off of Jey Uso, telling them that was enough. The damage is already done. They walked out with the mission accomplished. He still has the World Heavyweight Championship. Priest got in Balor's face, but McDonough got in between them. Priest told them, "Stand where I tell you, and put your hands in the air and pose with him." So the story is that McDonough and Balor came down to help. Priest didn't ask them to. They came down on their own. And this is where the discrepancy between the Judgment Day members is going to lead to a split of the Judgment Day. Again, I don't really care for Jey Uso as a singles performer. You may think differently. I don't. He's not terrible. Please don't mix up my words. Jey, the story that Jey tells in the ring is not, to me anyway, engaging or interesting. It's the same shit all the time. 1,000 super kicks, a spear, an Uso splash that looks sloppy, and it is what it is. The best thing about Jey is his entrance and his theme and the energy that he elicits on his way out to the ring. That's Jey Uso. And I understand France probably wanted a new champion tonight. The crowd would have fucking melted if Jey Uso won the championship. It would have been a great moment. I know there are people that wanted Jey to win tonight just because of the crowd reaction. But the World Championship right now, honestly, is not in a place where it's going to be on Priest for long, or it would be better off on Jey Uso. The World Championship, in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to Jey Uso, is going to be not the top priority. The priority here for Jey Uso is the storytelling. That's where Jey Uso thrives. Not the in-ring aspect, but the story, the emotion that he and his family provide to us. The story that Jey Uso will inevitably tell, reconciling with his brother Jimmy, is far greater than him winning the World Championship. So him winning the World Championship would obviously not really do much for Raw, and it would be a downgrade for what he really needs to be doing. That's just my feeling on that. Now, shifting gears to Damian Priest, I think Priest is great. Watching Damian Priest grow from what he was when we saw him as the Archer of Infamy in NXT to joining the main roster and joining and starting Judgment Day, where it got off to a rocky start to where we see Judgment Day now. It's a beautiful thing to see. Him winning the World Championship at WrestleMania was a great start to WrestleMania on Sunday night, too. I don't really see Drew McIntyre holding the championship for that much longer. Because I do feel with what we're seeing right now, Damian Priest not asking for help, JD McDonough out there taking business into his own hands, Finn Balor out there taking business into his own hands, Rhea Ripley not there to keep everybody in line. Damian Priest is going to have someone fuck up for him, and then that's when the split of Judgment Day is going to happen. Who the recipient of that is, I don't know. It may be who wins the King of the Ring. But the story right now on Monday Night Raw is a good one. I'm more interested in the story with Jey and his family and the story that Damian Priest is inevitably going to tell with Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and JD McDonough. The split of Judgment Day to me is more interesting than Damian Priest holding the World Championship and defending that World Championship. I don't feel any emotion with Damian Priest as champion. I don't. And I know I'm not the only one that feels that way. Not to say he's bad, but this right now is a role that he is in because we need to get everything lined up for Drew McIntyre to take that championship. That's the next world champion. We're not having a fucking show in Glasgow without him walking out as the world champion. Sorry. Whether that happens just on its own or with him winning the King of the Ring, I don't know. But this match was fine. It wasn't a banger by any stretch. And the match was enhanced because of the crowd. The crowd made this match a good match in an otherwise bad environment. That's my take on the match. They made it so much better off than it really was. We're going to get into the last two matches here. The women's tag team title match followed. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill against Kairi Sane and Asuka for the women's tag team championships. We're going to get into that and then talk about Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles in the main event for the WWE Championship. But first, I want to shout out you guys. We got 3,200 people in here on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you guys very much. And I want to shout out my sponsor for tonight's show, my great friends over at Game Time. Download the Game Time app and use that promo code JD from NY to save $20 off your first purchase. You guys have endless amounts of concerts and sporting events, theater plays in your area that you might want to go to. Game Time has got you covered. Use the promo code JD from NY after downloading the app and make sure you guys apply that code to save $20 off. Little word from my sponsor on tonight's post show for Backlash from Game Time. Game Time built a ticket marketplace that makes it faster and easier to get into your favorite events at a moment's notice. Game Time provides the premier marketplace for last-minute tickets to the most popular events in sports, music, and in theater across 60 cities in the United States and in Canada, eliminating the need for printing and built a better way to access the best live experiences right from your mobile device. Download the Game Time app today, create an account, and use promo code JD from NY for $20 off your first purchase. Guys, we've all had frustrating concert-going experiences, ticket-buying experiences. You don't know where you're sitting. You got the tickets, but you don't know if you got the best deal on them. You want to go to the game last minute or the concert last minute, but you don't know where the best deals are. With Game Time, they are going to eliminate all of that worry. Easy to find tickets for any event in your area, and the ticket buying experience, guys, literally, you buy tickets in 2 seconds with 2 taps. How many of you guys are fans of the NBA? Because if you are, Game Time here. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. Some other perks about the Game Time app that I personally really enjoy: available last-minute tickets, flash deals, zone deals, easy to find and buy tickets for NBA games and other events in your area, lowest price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss assurance, 24-hour returns, and views from all seats in the venue. So take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use promo code JD from NY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, download the Game Time app today, create an account, and redeem that promo code JD from NY for $20 off. Game Time, last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Thank you guys for the support, and please go check out Game Time. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill challenge Kairi Sane and Asuka for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. This match went 17 minutes. And this might have been one of the most predictable outcomes in recent memory for a WWE match, especially a title match. I don't think there was anybody that predicted the Kabuki Warriors to walk out of France with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. Now, Asuka and Kairi Sane walked out first. They didn't really get any reaction. In France, on this night, they didn't really get any reaction. It was quite the indifferent reaction. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill comes out. Bianca Belair, obviously a star in her own right. She's fucking great. I love Bianca. Hoping for a possible attitude adjustment from Bianca Belair. Possible heel turn of sorts for Bianca Belair. Potentially, I think she could absolutely use it. I think the character needs it. Would be a throwback to her days in NXT Black and Gold. And Jade Cargill comes out. She gets the superstar treatment. I love Jade's entrance. I think Jade's entrance is fantastic. I love her theme. Her theme is great. I'm so happy that WWE, and yes, it's very similar to what Mikey Ruckus did for her in AEW here in WWE, but I love the guitar solo in her theme music. I love the vibe of her theme. It fits her great. And they got matching gear. They had red outfits on. They had the same color on. They looked like a tag team, and I appreciate that. Kabuki Warriors look like a tag team. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair look like a tag team. Now, outside that, it's basically where the positivity from yours truly stops. I told you this match was going to end up exactly how it ended up. And it was not good. I'm not going to sit here like these half-ass fucking creators on this platform and praise a match because Jade executed some cool, nifty maneuver at the end of the match into the Jaded. I'm not going to sit here and just ignore and exclude everything that happened before it. These people are actively sabotaging this woman's career, and they're boosting her ego undeservedly. I have a lot of problems with the way the social media geeks and the media handle their criticism, or lack thereof, I should say, when something sucks. But I'm failing to see how this Jade Cargill differs from what we saw in AEW. I don't want to be hard on the woman. I don't. But she flat out told you herself she has no desire to get better. She's nothing more than a social media model parading around to be a pro wrestler who doesn't give a shit about getting better and is only there to collect the paycheck and parade around acting like she's some big deal. When we all know the pairing that is Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill is only the pairing because Jade can't cut it on her own. And Bianca's going to end up carrying this team and most of the workload until the inevitable split. I'm sorry. I'd love for someone to tell me what exactly am I looking at differently than what we saw in AEW. The answer is nothing. She's just under a bigger microscope and she's under brighter lights, which enhances her to all the fucking idiots out there who tend to see no change whatsoever. Jay looked terrible in this match. And the first half of this match was exactly the way that I told you it was going to end up. Bianca took the brunt of the offense from the Kabuki Warriors until a hot tag where she got in there and then things fell off a fucking mountain. A snowy mountaintop in Lyon, France. Jade actually did get in within the first 3 or 4 minutes and did one move and then quickly exited. This match was not good. I don't give a shit what anybody else says. So Belair and Cargill had the early advantage here. They worked over Kairi. Belair missed a dive and Asuka kicked her as Kairi distracted the referee. Sane hit a huge crossbody, which looked beautiful off the top rope. This was probably the best Kairi looked since joining the WWE again. This match, she looked great in this match. I want to see Kairi be physical. I feel like Kairi half-asses everything. I don't know why. She just throws herself around and flails offense at her opponents. She doesn't hit with any intensity. She doesn't get fierce. She doesn't wrestle like she wrestled in New Japan or Stardom. Where's that Kairi? Where's the NXT Kairi? As soon as she got to the main roster, it's like, all right, now we get lazy. We've already made the main roster. Let's get lazy now. Why does the work have to stop? Why do we have to change course? She has not looked good at all. This was the best she looked so far in her second WWE run. Crossbody looked great. Asuka and Kairi worked over Belair after that. Sane hit a flying forearm for 2. She was annoyed at the referee for taking too long to count. Asuka set up for a vertical suplex, but Belair countered and hit one instead. Belair tried for the hot tag, but Kairi leapt off of Belair's back and knocked Jade off the apron, which you would think she was hit with a fucking Mack truck the way she sold this flying elbow. Jade Cargill remained off the apron for about 8 minutes, give or take, until she hopped back up on the apron and all of a sudden made the hot tag to come back into the match. During this entire time, Bianca Belair was being beaten to death in the match without any help from Jade Cargill. So just like I said on Friday night, the match ended up being mostly Bianca, 95% of the match being Bianca, and 5% being Jade Cargill to show off the very limited moveset that she's learned at the Performance Center. She didn't even sell this flying elbow spot the right way. I don't know what the fuck she was doing. We didn't see. I don't know where she went. Asuka applied to disarm her on Belair, but Bianca got her feet up while hoisting Bianca on her shoulders. Sane tagged in and saved her partner. Belair fought them off, and Jade Cargill finally jumps back on the apron and gets the hot tag. She enters the ring fine. She hits a nice-looking springboard crossbody on both Asuka and Kairi Sane. She dropped both of them. She flailed a clothesline, which she missed, on Kairi, and then hits Asuka with a jumping pump kick. So after the pump kick, she starts handing out stinger splashes. Michael Cole referenced the stinger here. So Jade Cargill is going back and forth between Kairi in one corner, Asuka in the other. She's hitting big splashes on both. 2 big splashes each. So after the stinger splashes, she gave Sane a spine buster of sorts. It looks like a cross between a spine buster and a chokeslam. A spine buster is an opponent being lifted up and you dropping to your knees while slamming your opponent down at the same time. A la Powerhouse Hobbs, who's got the best spine buster in the business right now, or at least did before he got hurt. This was more of a chokeslam. Chokeslam, somewhere between a chokeslam and a spine buster. Asuka broke up the cover. This was followed by a sequence that made me physically cringe and need to turn away from watching the rest of the match. Asuka and Sane took turns hitting Cargill with some strikes, and Jade is standing there, and you physically see her showing 0 emotion, 0 facial expressions, 0 selling. She's bouncing around, flailing around out there, trying to sell all the punches, and you physically do not see her change her facial expressions at all. After all of these shots, spinning back fists, elbows, punches, another spinning, kicks to the midsection, nothing. Nothing. It's like I'm watching a fucking crash test dummy out there. And she's not showing any emotion. Yet you guys want me to be easy on her because she's still learning. When you hype up something and it fails to deliver and it's nothing but fucking some narrative pushed and some weird propaganda and everybody follows, I'm going to be the one person who goes against it. She looked fucking terrible. She genuinely looked terrible out there. Yet you want me to sit here and praise her because she had a great Jaded to close the match. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Great. Fantastic. I'm glad everybody in fucking France had a great time. What I looked at was a lot different than what the people in France were looking at. They didn't give a fuck. They were probably on their 8th beer. Everything is fucking awesome to these people at this point. completely just sloppy from every single point on from this hot tag. Messy, messy, messy. So Sane hits a reverse DDT. I'm looking at Jade. She couldn't even take a proper flat back bump here. Like, what are we doing? She flopped down on her back as if she was Tony Khan taking a fucking gut punch from Jack Perry on Wednesday's Dynamite. I couldn't tell the difference. She sold this just as bad as Tony Khan on Wednesday 2 weeks ago. All of a sudden, Kairi tried to make a cover. Referee told Kairi she was not the legal woman, but then allowed her to remain in the match. I don't get what I was watching here. Everybody's blaming the referee for allowing Kairi to be in the match for Jade's downfall or Jade's shortcomings. The referee fucked up. At this point, nobody knew who the fucking legal woman was. Kairi apparently was not the legal woman, but the referee let her stay in the match for 3 minutes, and then she tagged in Asuka, who was supposedly the legal woman. At this point, I'm done. I'm just done. Just give the titles to these two ladies and get them the fuck out of here. Seriously. Asuka got on the apron, tagged in. The referee acknowledged the tag after telling Kairi she wasn't the legal woman. We audibly heard him. No, I can't make the cover. Sane tagged back in so they can go back to whatever they wanted to do before the botch. Sane and Asuka applied arm bars to Cargill. My God, this was terrible. She had a fucking key lock arm bar on Jade Cargill, and Jade laid there without any struggle in the armbar. Not one single ounce of... She laid there flat on her back like she was a fucking corpse. No flailing about, no selling, no emotion from the armbar, nothing. You would think that the armbar was the weakest armbar of all time. It was almost as if Kairi was invisible, and there was no armbar. So both of them applied arm bars to Cargill and Bianca. Cargill and Belair hoisted them up, broke the holds, and hit one-arm powerbombs. This was apparently the spot that they were building to. This was followed up by a cool double-team sequence by Belair and Cargill. They teamed up to spike Sane before Cargill hit a suplex for 2. Sane hit Belair with the insane elbow, but Cargill broke up the cover. Cargill caught Sane off the top rope in a big splash, effortlessly transitioned. She's in a power slam position. She flips her up onto her shoulders. She drops her down into the double arm underhook spot into Jaded. Everybody's going crazy. Oh my God, Jade, oh, what an amazing maneuver. As if we didn't watch fucking 7 minutes of sheer fucking torture from this woman. Belair gave Asuka the KOD onto Kairi Sane and pinned Sane for the 1, 2, 3. Belair and Cargill win the tag team titles. Great. Yeah, let's mask Jade Cargill's fucking obviously terrible performance by giving her a fucking title that means just as much as the lint in my fucking shorts, so we can call her a superstar. If this isn't some weird fucking agenda by WWE management, I don't know what the fuck you're watching. Yet all I hear is, oh, I can't wait for Jade and Rhea. Oh, I can't wait for Jade and Charlotte. Oh, I can't wait for Jade and Becky. You want those matches? To do what with? Laugh? To do what with? Cringe and turn your head away from the television like I did tonight. What exactly do you want to do with those matches? Where do you want to see those matches? WrestleMania? Jade will be lucky if she makes it to 3 WrestleManias. I'm about done with the fucking Jade Cargill experiment after 3 fucking weeks. Clearly, she's not ready. Clearly, she needed NXT. Clearly, she needs to be in the Performance Center. But like I say, and nobody wants to fucking listen to me, nobody understands. What you get is the same AEW Jade Cargill that we got for 56 weeks, or whatever the fucking weeks reign was. Wasn't 1 ounce of getting better anywhere in 56 weeks. Now you want me to fucking change my tune because she's in WWE and she's standing next to Bianca, who we all adore and love. And now they're the tag team champions. I'm sorry, I don't see it that way. Who exactly are they going to defend these championships against now? Is there another team on WWE's roster that you want to see in the ring against these two? Kairi and Asuka are 2 of the best that they have. Who else is there? Kaden Carter and Katana Chance? Yeah, good luck with that one. I'm sure everybody will be over the fucking moon when Jade Cargill throws around fucking Casey Catanzaro, who's soaking wet 90 pounds. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire? Yeah, sure thing. Chelsea Green and Piper Niven? Yeah, please, spare me. This was awful. This was awful. No, but everybody wants to blame the referee, and everybody wants to blame this one and that one, the miscommunication, the language barrier between Asuka and Kairi and Jade. I'm sorry, what does the referee's botch and the language barrier have to do with Jade Cargill no-selling half the fucking match? No, but she'll get the pat on the back, and she'll post a fucking picture in her wrestling outfit, get 30,000 likes, and that's all that fucking matters. The entrance is all that matters. The snow, and the lighting, and the music, and the entrance, and the posing. Posing, every fucking move is a pose. Let me throw a punch. Let me pose and show my fucking muscles. Great. Fantastic. Sorry, folks. I'm not on the hype train. My train, I got off at the first stop. You're still on it. It's going nowhere. Back on track here. WWE announced. They're fucking crazy. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Don't know what they're doing here. Apparently, we got 8 matches on Monday Night Raw. 8 matches. We got more matches on Monday Night Raw than we did on this pay-per-view tonight. And I'm more excited for Monday. Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. King of the Ring match taking place between these guys. All these matches are King and Queen of the Ring matches. Finn Balor versus Drew McIntyre. Kofi Kingston versus Rey Mysterio. Ricochet versus Ilya Dragunov. And Sheamus versus Gunther on Monday Night Raw. I don't give a shit where you are or what you're doing, man. Monday night, we're eating very good, just with the men's brackets. Now, the ladies, I don't really give a shit about. There's only one match that I honestly am very interested in here, and that's Lyra Valkyria. Who? Oh, Becky 2.0. Yeah, I know who she is, man. Lyra Valkyria against Asuka. Io Sky versus Natalya. Shayna Baszler versus Zelina Vega. And Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile. All of these matches are taking place on Monday Night Raw. Now, WWE's going to they got a 3-hour show. It's possible. WWE's going to have one hell of a task to structure this show on Monday. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm going to throw something out there. I think WWE is going back to the old way that they did King of the Ring. 15-minute time limits. I don't think any of these matches will exceed 15 minutes. Sheamus and Gunther could wrestle for fucking 20 minutes, 25 minutes. So can Ricochet and Dragunov. 15-minute time limits for the first round, 30 minutes for the semifinals, and then 60 minutes for the final. I'd love if WWE brings back the time limits. Now, the thing is, WWE is having King and Queen of the Ring tournaments on Raw and King and Queen of the Ring tournaments on Friday. We have 3 weeks to go before the pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia. So we're getting a tournament on Monday, and we're getting a tournament on Friday. So every show from this point on, over the next 3 weeks, are going to be the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which is going to end up being a Raw guy or woman against a SmackDown man and a SmackDown woman. I love it. I love it. So in the final of the Raw side, I mean, we don't know which bracket is going to be where. We could see McIntyre versus Dragunov in the final. We could see McIntyre versus Gunther in the final. We could see McIntyre versus Sheamus in the final. We could see Gunther versus Dragunov in the final. I don't know why Kofi Kingston is in the King of the Ring tournament when Xavier Woods was the one who tried to enter the tournament. Did they fuck up there? What happened with that? Now that I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at Kofi, I'm like, where's Xavier? Didn't he say he's going to be in the tournament to defend his crown? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm loving it, man. I'm going with Drew McIntyre to win the Raw side, and I'm going with LA Knight to win the SmackDown side. I think that'd be great. Or maybe we just blow it out of the water and just give us Gunther winning the entire thing. I could see, listen, man, it's very unpredictable. I could see McIntyre win. I could see Dragunov win it. I could see Gunther win it. But I think with Clash of the Castle coming up, I think McIntyre is the safe bet to win the tournament, even though Gunther is a heavy favorite to win this year's King of the Ring. Maybe he's kayfabe hurt. Maybe. I don't know. Is he? Cody Rhodes. He defended the WWE Championship. The Universal Championship is now goodbye. Love it. The WWE Championship against AJ Styles. They went almost 30 minutes in the main event of Backlash France. This was great. This was a great title defense, a great first defense for Cody Rhodes against AJ Styles. Everybody made their entrance. I mean, AJ had the crowd chanting something, and I mean, it was so fucking loud that the cameras were shaking. They were singing something, they were chanting something, and just AJ, he stood there in the middle of the ring. Nobody said a fucking word on commentary, and AJ held back from breaking kayfabe and tried so hard not to smile. Cody Rhodes comes out. Everybody's singing every lyric to his song. Two woes. He's in the ring. We get the big introductions. I love the championship introductions for what WWE's now implemented for their championship matches. We see Samantha Irvin. We see the challenger. And we see the champion. And they have these beautiful 8K cameras. And I love this because it's such a deviation away from what Vince McMahon used to do. Vince never wanted the announcers in the ring. I don't know why. He never wanted Mike Rome or Kimmel or any of these guys in the ring. He always wanted them to sit by the timekeeper's area and announce from there because they took away from the vibe of the match. No, focus on that. Only focus on the wrestlers. But in Triple H's WWE, We see the ring announcer present. She's front and center. Samantha Irving's front and center. We get the commentary team now announcing the referee's name, who's in charge of the match. I mean, we never got referees even being addressed by name, ever. Now we are. Love these 8K camera shots. The background's all fuzzy and blurry. We got Cody and then AJ. Love it. Great presentation. They were basically having a very even match until Styles took control, shoulder into the turnbuckle. Goes Cody. Styles then targeted his shoulder. And apparently, they did a callback with AJ targeting the shoulder because of the last match that Cody had against Carmelo Hayes, where everybody saw him take a nasty bump on his shoulder. And AJ went to target that shoulder. Great move. Styles cleared the French announce table, and everybody booed. Everybody booed. It was a spot where he wanted Cody to go through the table. Rhodes fought him off, though, so he didn't go through the table. They battled on the ropes back in the ring. Rhodes tried a delayed vertical suplex, or superplex. Styles slipped out. Not sure what type of planned spot that they were going for here, but Rhodes fell back into the ring, wincing in pain. Rhodes sold his back. Styles then hits an electric chair move on Cody. So targeting the back now. Now the back and the shoulder is the issue. Styles tried for a lion salt, but Rhodes got the knees up. Rhodes hit a power slam and a disaster kick for 2. Crowd started singing to Styles. I don't know what the fuck they were saying. They went on and on and on throughout the entire match. They traded counters back and forth. Crowd's going crazy. Styles hit a fireman's carry neck breaker for 2. Styles dropped him onto the apron with a suplex. And the announcers thought that this was it for Cody Rhodes. Goodbye. Styles tried for a punt kick. Rhodes caught him. Powerbombed him through the announce table. Both men now on the outside. Referees counting. 6, 7. Crowds chanting along with every count. 7, 8, 9. They make it back in the ring by a 9 count where they both get up. They start exchanging strikes and they knock each other down with simultaneous kicks. So they both fired up. Traded strikes back and forth. Rhodes hits his jabs. The big dusty bionic elbow. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count. Rhodes went for a Cody cutter, but Styles caught him. They traded reversals until Styles suplexed him right into the turnbuckle, which looked nasty. Styles followed up with a beautiful springboard 450. Styles then hits a fucking burning hammer. A burning hammer. Where do you ever see that on WWE television? Rhodes kicked out of 1. I thought I was looking at fucking Cody Hogan here. This guy hulked up. Fired up, hit a Cody cutter for a near fall. Crowd chanted, "Fight forever." They didn't want this match to end. I don't think they wanted the show to end. They were chanting, "He is phenomenal" in French. Gotta love those. Gotta love those people in France, huh? Styles blocked the crossroads, hits a beautiful Pele kick. Styles dropped his elbow pad, went for the phenomenal forearm. Rhodes hits a big thrust kick to the midsection. Cody Rhodes then applied the Kimura lock, where they did not reference Brock Lesnar on commentary, but obviously mentioned that Cody had his arm broken via this same maneuver, and he knows how this move feels. Yeah, sure. Ridiculous. Cody's arm was broken by the Kimura lock. Sure thing. Styles got to his feet, slammed Rhodes down. Rhodes scales the ropes, hits a Cody cutter off the top, and he nails a very emphatic crossroads. For the 1, 2, 3, Cody Rhodes wins. He retains the championship. He walks out the WWE champion. Crowd is loving every bit of it. And the show goes off the air with Cody Rhodes kissing the mat, and we go home. That was it. No big surprise. No Uncle Howdy. No Eric Rowan. No Alexa Bliss. No trademark logo and then a big closing angle to end the show after the trademark logo disappears, which is the Triple H special. None of that. Cody Rhodes defends the title, wins clean. Man, oh man, I'm loving this title reign already. How many times have we seen Roman defend the championship and win via nefarious means with some outside interference? You guys are you're gonna have to get used to it. Cody's gonna win these matches clean as a babyface champion, man. I know it's a deviation away from what we know, but man, oh man, is it refreshing. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. I love it. AJ is fantastic. AJ looks to be in the best shape of his life. He's still every bit as phenomenal as he says he is. I think this match bleeds into Saudi. I think we get another one. I don't know what they would realistically do. I mean, they gave you everything for nearly 30 minutes here. What else could they do? Give us another match, same type of match with the same outcome. Or maybe Cody doesn't defend this championship in Saudi. I have no idea. No idea. But Cody is still the champion. I think this is it for AJ, honestly. This is his last year for WWE. I do think, just a prediction, I do think that AJ Styles ends up in AEW. I do. I think he may have one more year left, and I think he's going to try and squeeze out whatever remaining money he can make, get those dream matches that he wants out of the way. Omega, Ospreay, MJF, Adam Cole, I mean, you name it, Swerve. I just have a feeling that Tony Khan is going to offer him so much money that is going to be completely ridiculous to turn down. There's nothing more for him to do in WWE. Thank you guys for all your support on tonight's stream, man. We had upwards towards 3,200 on a Saturday afternoon. You guys are awesome. Shout out to my sponsor as well, to Game Time, tonight's sponsor for the show, Game Time. Make sure you guys download the Game Time app on Android and Apple devices. Download the Game Time app, create an account, scour your area for whichever show you want to go to, man. Sporting events, concerts, theater plays, you name it. Create an account, use that promo code JD from NY and save $20 off your first purchase. Symphony X is coming to New York on Long Island and Wantagh. I'll be using Game Time to purchase my tickets to that show to save $20 off. Love it. Follow me on social media at JD from NY206. X, Instagram, TikTok, Cameo. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for notifications. We just hit 159,000 subscribers. Thank you guys for that. Continue to hit that thumbs up. We are well over 1,000. Get those super chats in. Memberships are also open. And make sure you guys check out all the other content. We were live last night for Friday Night SmackDown. Obviously, we're live for Backlash. I'll have some extras tomorrow. I'll be live on Monday for King of the Ring. And then Tuesday, the Solid Monster and I will be Tuesday Night Titans for episode 47, a new era of the podcast. Should be really, really great, really, really fun. And if you guys are attending the House of Glory show tomorrow afternoon, bell time, 5 p.m., come and say what's up. We'll be doing commentary. Let's get into these super chats. Andy Suppers with a 6-month re-up. This pay-per-view kicked off like a rocket ship. Loving life with Papa H in charge. OTS for life. AJ with 12 months. 1 year in the venue of the Tribal Chief of the IWC. Thank you, JD. By the way, your 2019 Raw reviews are my favorite. This crowd for Backlash was fantastic. Yeah, man, those Raw reviews, man, they look a lot different nowadays compared to 2019. I don't believe where I was then and where I am now as a creator, honestly. Visually, aesthetically, sound-wise, comfort level, being live in front of all you guys, it's great. Captain Solo with 34 months. Jade Cargill should have stayed in AEW. You can't hide her weakness in WWE. She needs NXT. Her skills are trash. She was gassed within 5 minutes. Michael Krause with the $2 Super Chat. Good Saturday, JD and the OTS family. Hope all is well. Thank you, Michael. Captain Solo with a $5 Super Chat. This crowd was magical. They really need to do more shows in France. They knocked it out of the park with their energy and enthusiasm. I agree, Solo, but the thing is, you got to keep it to a point where it feels special every time you come around. You can't do multiple shows in France. You can't really do it every year either. I would do maybe every other year. Have a nice rotation of countries that they do shows in. But the energy tonight is certainly something that I'm sure opened WWE's eyes, and they are already saying, yeah, we got to come back here. For sure. David Deering with 2 months. Thank you, David. Gunther vs. Sheamus, Ricochet vs. Dragunov on Monday Night Raw. I like you, JD, from your Twitter post. We'll take that buffet and good drink to go. Thank you, David. Michelle Moran with a $5 Super Chat. The crowd was insane all night. They are awesome. Cody and AJ and KO Orton versus Solo and Tonga were fire. No rematch for AJ. So Cody's opponent for King of the Ring is who? It's either nobody or AJ again for a second match. Moretz with 23 months. Thank you for the re-up, brother. Raging Girl Gamer with 43 months. 43 months, she says. Let's go. France crowd was amazing and made the show. Black Wolf Inc. with a 5 and a 5. Okay. So now that Jacob Fatu is yet to debut, do we factor him when Roman and Jimmy reunite with Jey, or have him work NXT and then he works War Games? You know what, man? I'm not even going to worry about that right now. One thing at a time. Also, Black Wolf says, this was quite a phenomenal review, JD. Pour me a glass of your finest wine and fetch me a fine wench. I have taken Blue Chew and wish to finish my story. Brother, there are no wenches in the venue, bro. Marquise with a $5 Super Chat. Hey, JD, now that's what I call a great crowd. Never seen a crowd like that. Can't wait to see where this takes us. Man, cheers to you, bro, and your success. Thank you, Marquise. Sarit Mohanty with a 13 months. He says, Motor City Machine Guns better suited for WWE or AEW. I think they're better suited for AEW, but I would love to see what Triple H does with Motor City Machine Guns in WWE. Because I know Shelley has worked NXT before with, what's his name? I'm drawing a blank now. I can't, what's his name? Back to the Future guy. The Time Splitters. I don't know why I can't think of his name right now. But I would love to see them in WWE, but I think they're a better fit for AEW. WWE needs more tag teams to accommodate 2 tag team titles, whereas AEW's roster is too much overloaded. By the way, guys, I forgot to mention, because I'm just on a roll and I'm thinking about 1,000 fucking things. Jesse is actually going to be live. Jesse is going to be live immediately. I don't know if it's going to be immediately after I'm done, but at some point between when I end and 7:30, Jesse's going to be live with his coverage of Backlash. He watched the show. Jesse's going to give you his updates, his thoughts on WrestleMania 41 in Vegas, his thoughts on Backlash. So if you guys want to hear his perspective on Backlash, he's going to be live on his channel. So you guys can get a double dose. And if you guys are continuing to want to hang out with Jesse and you're not done hanging out, go hang out with him and make yourself a beverage. Sounds like a good deal. Jesse, leave your link in the chat, bro. Hoop Media says nobody gives a shit about Jesse, man. Oh, my goodness. Hoop Media's been gone for so many months, man. And Hoop Media is starting an internal bloodline guerrilla warfare of their own in the venue. Jesse, you may have to take that up with media, bro. I don't have anything to do with that. Jesse's live right now. You can wait to go over there, man. Let me finish my super chats first. Oh, man. Hoop Media and Jesse is like me and Satin. Yes, that's exactly how it is. You got dinner with me and then dessert with Jesse. I don't know what type of dessert Jesse's serving over there, bro, but if that's your cup of tea, go over there. Sarit Mohanty, thank you, brother. With Solomon for joining TNT, don't you think live audiences of either you or Jason will get affected during each of your individual AEW post-show reviews? Your members might jump ship to him. Well, when you want to be the best, Sarit, you got to work with the best. I'm not worried about my audience going over to him because my audience is my audience. He's going to get some of my audience. There are several people over there that don't like me who are going to have a different perspective of me while working with Jason. I think it's going to be an equal partnership. Not worried about that at all. Tribal Chief with 9 months, Backlash, was okay. Jade is a terrible wrestler, but JD, I need to know your favorite villain, Governor, Negan, or Alpha? OTS for life, pal. Nobody is better than Negan, Tribal Chief. Though, the Governor was great. The Governor. Karen Williams with a $5 super chat. Please don't swear. Think of the children. I may wash your mouth out with soap. Shame on you, young man. Karen, fuck the children. Thank you for the $5. Sarit, JD, bro, since you work out, do you follow any strict diet like no sugar, no fried food, no oily food, no junk food, lots of protein, and less alcoholic drinks? And what the fuck are you drinking tonight? Sarit, it's a very good question, brother. I don't have a lot of sugar anyway. The only sugar that I really consume outside of what's already in the food that I prepare is sugar in my coffee. I always have a little dash of vanilla syrup in my coffee. I don't eat fried food. I don't eat oily food. I don't eat junk food. And every dinner is either chicken, steak, with a veggie or two. But my problem is a lot of grain. I have pasta and bread. I have to cut some of that stuff out. I mean, I'm Italian, so I have to have my pastas and my breads, okay? And I've drank less, a lot less, since I started working out, which has not only affected my health in a better way, obviously, but that's added sugar that I don't really want to be taking in. So, I mean, still a work in progress. Caden Whitman with 11 months. What a show today, JD. And that France crowd might be the very best. I agree, Caden. Stacy Brown with 5. The fans in France were amazing. JD, do you think WWE will go back to France in the future? I do, Stacy. It's hard to give up fried food. It's not hard for me, brother. I don't eat any fried food. Frank Wozinka for the $1.99. Frank, thank you, brother. Rage, thank you for the $100 super chat. Appreciate you as always. Ali with 21 months. Man, what a pay-per-view with France. They did better than the U.S. crowd with those shows. Awesome chance. I was hoping to see Jacob Fatu show up. Patience, Ali. Patience. David and Felipe with the $100 bombs. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. Matthew Urban with a $2 super chat. We absolutely need to step it up in the States. We absolutely do. Mendelf's Isma with 23 months. Still a member and will be for a lot longer. I miss a lot of live shows, but I catch it. Thank you, Mendelfs. I appreciate you being here, bro. Ali, thank you for the $100 bomb. Jack Glancy with a 5. Your cat would make a more entertaining tag team partner for Bianca than Jade. And I thought everyone said Gable Steveson was the next Kurt Angle. This is what I said all the way back when, Jack. There is only one Kurt Angle, and when you start comparing this one to being the next Sasha or the next Kurt Angle or the next Adam Copeland, you're already setting them up for failure. Gable Steveson had the charisma of a fucking broomstick. After the match with Baron Corbin, the fact that he could not make it entertaining and have fun with it after they sent heel heat raining down upon him to a point where Baron Corbin was the babyface, which is unbelievable to me. He was already doomed to fail from that moment on, and I never wanted to see him in the ring again. But they had high hopes. I mean, they had such high hopes for Gable Steveson that if Triple H didn't have the heart attack, Triple H was ready to put him over at WrestleMania. Now he's nothing more than a fucking weird trivia question. He's nothing more than a weird answer to a weird trivia question. Which WrestleMania did Gable Steveson bizarrely walk out of? Or walk out in front of? As he never wrestled a single match on the main roster after being drafted to Monday Night Raw. Jack, thank you, brother. Bevlar with a 199. JD, have you finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? I have not. Too much Destiny going on in my life, bro. I got brave weapons and raid weapons to chase before Final Shape. Joseph Taylor with a $7 super chat. Jade is beautiful, JD. But I can do better in the ring, and I have no experience in the professional wrestling ring or world. Thank you, Joseph. I appreciate you, man. Tay-Tay with a 21 months. Backlash was a 9 out of 5. Or 9.5. 9.5. 9.5 out of 10. The crowd, the matches, everything, especially Cody versus AJ. That was a 5-star classic. Cannot wait for King and Queen of the Ring. Thank you, Tay-Tay. A 9.5 out of 10? Come on, man. It wasn't that good. The crowd might have been a 9.5 out of 10, but the show itself, no. MGM with a $4 super chat. Just booked my room for Vegas. Fuck Minnesota. The Rock. Minnesota doesn't work for me, brother. It's probably what was said. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Naomi took her ball and went home. What do these Naomi stands expect? She's right where she belongs in the mid-card. Priorities are going to be with Tiff. Yeah. MGM with a 199. Sean Ross Sapp is crying on Twitter after Triple H cooked him. Oh, man, we're eating good tonight, too, right before Monday. I love me some cooking Sean Ross Sapp. What did he say? I got to check now. I got to see this. What happened here? You know what? I'm not even going to get involved. I don't give a shit. It was further clarified to me by WWE that Triple H's comment was regarding the person asking the question, inquiring that Gulak's departure was related to Rousey. I can't speak for anyone else, but we didn't report that at Fightful. Whatever. All these publications are trash. They all do what they can to keep their fucking media credentials intact because that's all they have. Jade is just interested in being noticed by Marvel and being casted as Storm. WWE is a stepping stone to her. Thank you, Basic. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. Jade Cargill poses more than the narcissist Lex Luger. That crap needs to stop ASAP. I agree. I agree, Captain Solo. No doubt about it. All the posing, for what? Tony Brown with a $4.99. No bomb, but here's a small BB, my friend. Thank you, Tony Brown. Lewis, caught the last bit of your show, brother, but I'm here to support you. Hopefully, Cuba is treating you well, man. Get home safe with the $4.99. Thank you, Lewis. Danny Mabley with a $4.99. My brother thinks you're a hater, but I like you, JD. Well, tell your brother to have a great evening, Danny. I don't give a shit. You can tell him I don't give a shit. VR with a $5 super chat. I Googled it after 2 count. Simplement de deux. Simply 2 reference to the French commentator saying simply 2 pronounced Simple mon Dieu. Thank you, VR, for the French lesson. Mike 43. CM Punk stuck at WWE headquarters, Fightful say. I'm sure he's fine. Rich Mulatto with a $1.99. My baby mama has been unemployed for 3 years. What a bum. Sorry to hear that, Rich. Captain Solo with a $5 super chat. If it was your decision, who would you fire and who would you keep between Ronda Rousey and Jade Cargill? I absolutely would fire. You know what? I would fire Ronda. Ronda's awful, too. Schlumpy with a $4.99. Hey, JD, do you think Backlash should be a permanent international show? I think all the B-level pay-per-views will be international shows. Schlumpy. Mohammed with a 5. JD, would you prefer 1 world title or 2 world titles? I think 1 makes it feel more special, but gives more opportunities to 2. I would have 1 world title, Mohammed. And Rich Mulatto with a $1.99. My baby mama tries to keep our daughter or our child away from me. My baby daughter! I gotta go buy the diapers! I'll show you entertainment! Hit the subscribe button, I got more CM Punk news coming tomorrow! I'll show you entertainment! As I do nothing but clickbait in my thumbnails with breaking news! A flock of morons with a $10 super chat. Drew wins King of the Ring, wins the belt in Scotland. Punk beats him in Survivor Series after losing at SummerSlam due to shenanigans, and then Gunther wins the world title from Punk at Mania. Book it. Let's get Drew winning the King of the Ring and the World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for all your support. We had a great stream tonight. Had a great stream. 3,200 plus on a Saturday afternoon. If you guys are in here, thank you. If not, thank you for listening. And please make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out if you have not done so. Hit that subscribe button down below and turn on the bell for all notifications. And make sure you guys go check out all the other videos on the channel. More coming this weekend. We begin a brand new week with the King of the Ring on Monday. And then Tuesday night is Titan with the Solo Monster on Tuesday Night Titans. I'll see you guys tomorrow with Extra, and then Monday right back for a brand new week right here on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.